Well, welcome everybody. We're here at our segment that we call Creative Corner, and today I'm going to be going over some different types of adhesive materials that you can use when you're building stuff. And this is not specifically mechanical fasteners. We'll get to that eventually, but this is just liquid glues because there's a whole bunch of them out there, and you can use them for different kinds of things. So a lot of people are building with a whole variety of different types of materials, whether it be foam or cardboard or material or thermoplastics. You can build things all different kinds of ways, even leather. And each of the types of materials can use a different type of adhesion material to be able to stick it together. I have people of like, I started with cardboard and paper and I used white glue. Want to try foam? I have no idea how to hold it together. So I've got a whole bunch of samples here, and I will explain them to you exactly what they're good for and how to use them here. So I'm going to start off right off the top. If you're moving into foam, EVA foam builds of any types, there are a couple different types of adhesives that are really, really good. The best is a glue called Barge, B-A-R-G-E, and you can get it online. You can also get it at a variety of stores around. Tandy Leather Supply has it. But Barge is a kind of a universal glue. It was originally made for leather working and for putting shoes together. Works extremely well for foam, but it also works really well for other materials as well. This is what I would call a molecular bonding material. You do not need a lot of it. A very thin coat on the material on both sides, and then you actually can dry it. You can either let it air dry, or I use a little hair dryer and just dry it down until it is like tacky dry, almost completely dry. And when you put the two pieces together, they will not come apart. It's a real permanent bond. And you can use this on, like I said, not only on EVA foam, but it works well on combination stuff like foam and sinter, thermoplastic. It can be used on material, works great on leather, which is originally why it was designed for. So Barge is a really good one that you can utilize. And contact cement does come in other brands besides Barge. DAP also makes a weldwood. I don't consider it to be quite as strong as Barge, but it can work also. So once you put this on, you can just let it sit there and dry. I mean, the working time, it can stay there for a long time. If it completely dries, like, hey, I put this together last week, you'd probably want to refresh it and put a couple coats. In fact, if you do put a couple coats on, it even makes it stronger. So it's not like it instantly will dry. You have time to do whatever you want. You can go get a drink of water, whatnot, come back. It's not an instant type of material. You do have working time with it. Once you adhere it together, 0 working time, it's there. It's stuck together. It will not come apart. This type of adhesive, this molecular bond adhesive, also comes in a spray can. So Gorilla Glue makes one. I got another variety one here they're just kind of random ones. You can get a variety of 3M makes a really good one too. I think it's 777 spray adhesive from 3M. And you spray them on, same thing. You let them dry, put them together. The spray adhesives are really good if you're working with light materials like fabrics or papers or really lightweight materials. It works really, really well on these guys. Not quite the adhesive as the regular Barge, but they do work pretty well. The Gorilla Glue is probably one of the better ones. The top of the line is the 3M, I believe it's 777 spray adhesive. This stuff's like great. In all of these cases, make sure that you do wear protective gear, because they have, especially the aerosols, if you got them sprayed out, if you don't have a paint booth like we do it outside. Make sure you have a respirator if you're inside. They can get a little noxious on it. So those are some contact type adhesives. We're all familiar with this little guy, hot glue gun. Now, a lot of people, cosplayers, will go, "Oh, don't use hot glue. It's horrible. Don't ever use it." But the hot glue does have its place. It does have where you can use it and what it's really good for. And you just have to be careful because it is a bonding. It's a mass bonding. You just put a ton of it on it. You put a bunch of it on it and you glue it together. I mean, not a ton. You don't have to, put tons and tons, but it's not like you just put a little thin coat. You actually have to build up enough of the hot glue in order for it to melt the hot stick and glue back together. But it has its limitations where in different temperatures and whatnot, it can get fragile. It can pull off of some materials. So I use it, but I use it sparingly where I know that it's not going to have like a tension pull where I need just to hold something together. The hot glue can really come in handy. I think every shop should have hot glue guns because you just, sometimes you just need to tack weld something in place on it. The other type of glue that everybody may have heard about is E6000. E6000 is a great glue. It takes a freaking long time to set up and dry. So unless you have a lot of time to spare, I wouldn't recommend this. It's also really toxic kind of stuff. But once it dries and once it's set in place, it's amazing. It will hold just about anything in place. So E6000 is also a really handy glue to have around, especially if you're having time. And the E6000 will work on a variety of materials. It'll work on wood, leather, glue, plastics, a whole bunch of different kind of stuff. If you are working with large format pieces, liquid nails, it's a construction adhesive. But liquid nails can really, and it comes in tubes and glue sizes and stuff. It takes a long time to dry. So it's an overnight type of drying stuff. But if you're building large props or large pieces and whatnot, liquid nails is really a great glue to have around. It can be freaking, if it gets on you, it's like impossible to get off. It is nasty stuff to get off. Do not get this on your clothes or yourself. But yeah, liquid nails, I use this for large props and stuff when I need, or wood, things like that when you're doing wood props or maybe XPS foam and stuff. Because this is not a solvent based, you can use this on XPS foam and it won't melt it. It'll glue it together really, really good. So liquid nails is a great glue to have around. There's also, if you're working specifically with leather products, you want to use the barge. Barge is really good. You can use the E6000 for leather. And you can also use a variety of just plain water-based glues. They're not quite as effective. We also have the epoxy, two-part epoxy, and we use this a lot when something really needs to stay. So we're making a sword hilt, we're putting a handle on it, we want that to stay, it's going to be the epoxy. And it comes in these little tubes. You can get different sizes and whatnot, but you put this out in a little tray, you mix the two parts together. Generally you have about 5 minutes of working time on this, and then it starts setting up. So when you're putting it on, you don't mix a whole bunch of it up at one time. You just put a little bit of it at a time together, and it will harden up and really work well. Super glues are really useful too, and super glues can be used on EVA foam. They can use a whole variety of materials. Super glues. Just be super careful because this can and you can actually glue your fingers together. It was originally designed for medics on the battlefield to be able to sew them together, put them back together when they didn't have, when it was an emergency. So super glues are really helpful as well. What else do I got in here? Wood glues. White glues can be used on a variety of things. They are water-based, so you can use them on things that you wouldn't be able to use solvent-based stuff on, like XPS foam, styrofoam, things like that. It's for wood. This is what it's made for. It's made for putting wood together, and that's really where it shines. Paper products and stuff like that. And last but not least, if you are going to be putting some materials together, you can always use Cosbon. Cosbon is a great material. We gave away some last week. It's a single sheet adhesive material, and that also works really well with materials. You can put it through the washing machine. It's a water soluble, totally non-toxic material that you can use on a variety of materials. So there you have it. Just a quick overview of a bunch of different types of adhesion materials. Please drop us a line if you're not sure what kind of adhesion material to use on your project. We'll let you know. You can check on my, we have a stream at twitch.tv/Zaklabs every Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 6. We have a YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find us anywhere. Look for Zaklab, Zaklebs. Drop us a line someplace. Love to be able to answer your questions if you have any more questions about how to put things together and make them stick. So next time we're going to be talking about mechanical measures to keep your pieces together. And there's a whole bunch of cool mechanical ones that you can use to be able to put stuff together. So I'm going to sign out right now from Creative Corner. We're going to get back to our stream. Hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you later.